In the absence of light, darkness prevails. There are things that go bump in the night, Agent Myers. Make no mistake about that. And we are the ones who bump back.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Gareth from Books, Songs and Other Magic, and I'm announcing my involvement in a new book event that's happening that is the invention of Annie from Obscure Book Adventures, and it's a really lovely idea, and I don't know how many people are going to join her. It's her idea, and she put an announcement about a month ago on her channel about this event. It's happening in February, so you got time to kind of join in if you want to, and it's just a really cool idea. It's called Filmtastic February, and it's celebrating film through books. So it could be anything related to films at all. So if you want to read something that is directly related or indirectly related, then that's cool. Could be fiction, could be non-fiction. I've got a bunch of things I'm going to go through as suggestions and things that might spark off your imagination. But it's the brainchild of Annie from Obscure Book Adventures. I'll link the announcement video that she did in the description below. But I think it's just a really cool idea. So I'm definitely going to do this. I don't know how many books I'm going to read, because obviously it'll be dovetailing with other events I'm doing. But I think it's a great idea. So I'm going to read some of these things. And actually, the end of February will also be Garb August 2.5, and novelizations are part of the, well, and also books written by celebrities. So I'm going to get to that in a second with my suggestions for the Filmtastic February idea. So it could be something you combine with Garb August 2.5. Just saying. So, okay. Novelizations, a very obvious thing that you could do. So there's Jaws here. Very scary, big shark. I still haven't read the novelization. I do want to read the novelization of Jaws. Jaws. And yeah, it's supposed to be really good. Some people prefer it to the film, which is really interesting because the film is a masterpiece. So yeah, Jaws, Peter Benchley. That's a possible novelization that you might like to read. There's also, I have the novelization of The Force Awakens, which I really liked. I like A Force Awakens, all right. I know it's another Death Star. I know. But, oh my God. Gave me the feels, as they say. Alan Dean Foster wrote The Force Awakens. So he's the Mr. Novelization himself. So yeah, I could read that. I'm tempted. I bought it because I wanted to read it. So yeah, I could read The Force Awakens novelization. I've also got the first 6. I think I've got the first 6 Star Trek films novelizations. So I've got the first 2 here. So The Motionless Picture, Star Trek The Motionless Picture, and Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. I heard somebody say, at one point in the last couple of years, I heard somebody say that they didn't like The Wrath of Khan. Weird. There's also Planet of the Apes. So this is a prequel to the more recent trilogy of Planet of the Apes, which I think was a brilliant trilogy. I love the Planet of the Apes films. And this is Firestorm, which is by Greg Keyes, and it's a prequel to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So I like that idea. So I could read this. This would be a nice idea. And now moving on to, you might want to read something written by a film director. So John Waters wrote this book. It's a novel, and it's apparently very John Waters-y. So if you're used to his films, then you might know what kind of content it's got in it. I think Ollie read this for Garb August in the first round of Garb August. I'm not sure, but that's a possibility, and definitely tempted myself. I mean, clearly, these are books I need to read. But yeah, John Waters is a possibility. and very celebrated autobiographic author Carrie Fisher. This is wishful drinking, so she's got that sort of sardonic wit, which I like, but actually it kind of grated a little bit when I read not Postcards from the Edge, but the other one. What was the other one? The other one. But Wishful Drinking I still haven't read. So, and I think this is possibly, I think the reason why the cover's like it is I think it is centered around her time in the first films, I think. But I'm not sure. But yeah, I know that the sort of the alcohol dependency stuff is in here. But Carrie Fisher, one of her memoirs, that's a possibility. Also, another author who is an actor, most famous for being an actor, but he's written a few novels actually. Ethan Hawke. Apparently these novels are good. So Ethan Hawke, Ash Wednesday. I've got that one. I just found it. I was like, oh, Ethan Hawke. What? The Ethan Hawke? And then I looked at it. I was like, yes, it is the Ethan Hawke. So I was like, oh my God. So I personally love it when people can moonlight and do other careers and be good at it. I love that. But yeah, Ethan Hawke, Ash Wednesday. That could be a possibility for you. Another thing, because I collect books about the Marx Brothers, it could be something you could relate to. This might be sparking off other ideas. Maybe you go, oh, actually, I've got a book about Abbott and Costello. Or, oh, where's my Laurel and Hardy books? But this is a book I got for Christmas, which adds to my Marx Brothers collection, which is letters written from Groucho to his daughter Miriam. And I can't wait to read this. So it could be something I read in February. So Love Groucho is a nice possibility there. Arguably, my favourite film director is Terry Gilliam. And this book, Gilliam on Gilliam, is fantastic. It's really, really good. They're all it's all full of interviews with Terry Gilliam, talking about his process, talking about his films, talking about some of the difficulties with the films, and talking about how he gets his crazy ideas. There is some stuff in there about Python as well, but it is centered around his filmography and his work as a film director. But a really interesting man. And this Faber and Faber director on director series is brilliant. So if you find any others, then there's Barry Levinson, there's David Cronenberg, there's Scorsese, there's Woody Allen, there's I think there's a Barry Sonnenfeld one. I think there's a Barry Levinson one. Did I say that? Did I say that already? Robert Altman. I think there's a Robert Altman one. But yeah, Gilliam on Gilliam, fantastic book. And if you are have an interest, if you do have an interest in Terry Gilliam, then you might be interested in this fantastic book, The Battle of Brazil, which is about Terry Gilliam's difficulties trying to make Brazil, and how they kept trying, like, they had to change the ending, and they just kept giving him loads and loads of problems. And in general, it was a really difficult shoot, and it's just a really fascinating book. And it's also got sketches by Terry Gilliam in there, which is a great thing for me because I love cartoonists and I love Terry Gilliam, so that's pretty cool. But obviously most of it is the actual story of getting the film made. So if you are interested in Brazil, which for many years I called my favourite film, I don't think I'd do that now, but it's definitely up there. I'd say it's in my top 5, I'd say now. But it used to be my go-to. Someone would say, what's your favourite film? I'd go, Brazil. I used to do it like lightning speed. Brazil. Because I always thought if I answer quicker, then it means more. But I don't know. Maybe I should say, give me a few weeks. I'll get back to you. And then you might want to go, just a few more here. You might want to concentrate on film music. And there's a fantastic book I would recommend here from Routledge, isn't it? It's a Routledge book, isn't it? Yeah, Routledge, who's a great publisher for academic books. And this is Music in the Horror Film. Listening to Fear. It's a really good book by Neil Lerner. Yeah, music in the horror film Listening to Fear. And because horror film music was really innovative, and you know, from Bernard Herrmann's Psycho to John Carpenter's music for Halloween and that kind of stuff. You know, there's been some real interesting developments in film music through the horror genre. So yeah, really interesting book, that very good. And two more, this time about animation. So this is a really cool book. I don't know if you know about these kind of books, that these kind of books exist, but this is an academic study on the business side of American animation films. So it's called Serious Business, subtitled The Art and Commerce of Animation in America, from Betty Boop to Toy Story. And it's really good. Stefan Kampfer. I do collect books about animation as much as I do about the animators. And this is a really good one. It's a really interesting find, and it's got lots of important facts in it. And yeah, it's just really good. So I don't know if you would be interested in that or something similar. The Serious Business is a bit of an interesting one-off one. It's got a foreword by Chuck Jones. Chuck Jones. Do you guys know who Chuck Jones is? He is a really important animator, film director who put a lot of personality into Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. And because Tex Avery invented Bugs Bunny, but the Bugs Bunny we know is a Chuck Jones creation. Wouldn't it be nice to do a video about the Warner Brothers characters? If you want because I am massively passionate about the Warner Brothers characters. If you want a video about that, I might enjoy doing that. But also Chuck Jones was responsible for creating Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner and Yosemite Sam, and you know, lots of he invented Marvin the Martian as well. So yeah, lots of things that Chuck Jones did, as well as the Grinch, the original Grinch film, and lots of things like that. Really interesting guy. So yeah, you might be interested in Serious Business by Stefan Kampfer. And one last one to finish, which is a bit of a picture book, but it's quite special. And this is a book of sketches by the Pixar team. So, funny, 25 years of laughter from the Pixar story room. And this is just like random ideas and drawings done by the Pixar team, which I think is so special. And as you know, I'm a cartoonist collector, so this is great for someone like me. Look at that. Absolutely priceless. So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, then there's that one as well. So anything like that. So what have I got here? Novelizations, non-fiction books about film, memoirs, a novel by an actor or a novel by a director, films where books that are interviews with directors, about specific films, like my book about Brazil. Somewhere I've got the book which is like about the making of the 1976 King Kong film as well. That's somewhere. Anything like that. I think it's a really cool idea. It's Annie from Obscure Book Adventures idea. If you like the idea, join in. Filmtastic February, and I'll look forward to reading some of this. A few of those it would be a reread, but yeah, how cool is that? Stay curious, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Paint me a picture